Yo, what up, y'all? This is the Rap Game with Vegas. I am your host, Vegas. This is a video series where I play video games and I talk about rap. Or at least I try to play video games and talk about rap. Please subscribe to this channel. We are working on a lot of big things, a lot of content so far. My son has been holding it down for the most part with video game videos. So you can check out the Dragon Ball Fighters beta, him playing a couple of online matches, me trying to play Madden 18, and a couple of other videos, as well as, of course, rap game videos, past rap game videos that you can go back to, and One to Flow On, which is my commentary series. I got a new video for that coming. So, but the rap game, God of War 3 remastered, PS4 Pro. This game, I beat this game probably 3 times on PS3. I love the gameplay. I love the God of War series. It's probably the one or at least one of the non-sports games that like I have to have. Don't have a lot of time to play games, but when games like this, Metal Gear, maybe even Battlefield come out, you know, I have to add them to my collection. I believe this is running at 60 frames per second now with this remastered version. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to try not to suck. Haven't played in a while. It's going to take a while for me to, maybe it'll take a while for me to get back to the way I used to play. But on the rap side of things, I'm going to talk about, we can pick Titan. Let's pick normal, since I haven't played in a while. But when it comes to the rap part of things, we're going to get into a segment that's coming to my podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast. The link will be in the description of this video after this live broadcast. Damn graphics. But on my podcast, I'm doing this thing for listeners once a month where I profile a listener and I ask them 3 questions, right? And if you want to take part in this, listener participation is once a month. So get in now, and you know, you most likely, or not, or whatever the case may be, but I definitely appreciate, but you most likely could be one of the people up to be the listener profile for next month, which is February. We already had one for January. But I asked them a series of just 3 questions. Your answers have to be no more than maybe 4 minutes in length. You don't have to worry about any production, because this is the thing. This is an audio only thing, but I am willing to accept written requests or responses, because I know some people maybe don't have the capabilities to record themselves. But if you have a smartphone, you do. So if you have an iOS device, you have an Android device, you can record yourself answering these 3 questions, and you can email them to me at vegasworld5, the number 5, at gmail.com, vegasworld5 at gmail.com. And the 3 questions, right? Now what I'm going to do here on the rap game is I'm going to give you my answers for the 3 questions. But the 3 questions that I'm asking listeners to submit via audio is 1, what was your first experience with hip-hop? 2, what's your hip-hop guilty pleasure? Any one of them, if you had many, or maybe you have one. And 3, what are your top 3 artists or albums, or favorite albums of all time? So top 3 hip-hop artists or top 3 hip-hop albums, your favorites of all time. And the reasoning behind asking those specific questions was, for one, for us to get to know other people's experiences. And I think it's interesting when you know why somebody picks these top 3 artists, why somebody picks these top 3 albums. you know, what was their first experience with hip hop. And man, these graphics look good. Hold on, let me get a screenshot. Let me screenshot that. Send that off real quick. Come on, man. What's going on, man? Send this out real quick. Okay, let's get it. Yeah, the game didn't even pause for a brother. Hold up, let's see if I can get my mojo back. I do remember this move. Bullshit. Okay, that's dodge and block. Okay. Oh shoot. Some of it's coming back. Yeah, I remember that. Grab and run around. Sure, that's out here. Alright, any more cats coming? Oh yeah, this is on normal because that was pretty quick. But yeah, man, so those three questions, you know, what's your first experience with hip hop? What's your hip hop guilty pleasure? And your top three favorite artists or hip hop albums of all time and why? So what you would do is you record yourself saying that. Of course, you start by saying your name and where you're from, and you email those answers to me at vegasworld5@gmail.com. Now, I'm going to answer those questions. The first question, what was my first experience with hip hop? As you know, I was born the year hip hop kind of took off. Not the year it was born, but some people consider it that, in 1977, right? My first experience with hip hop has to be Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight. Hold on, let me get through this level. Oh man, more enemies, okay. Damn, there's one move. I know I used to do this joint all the time. Oh man, I'm sucking big time. Like, how you, damn. Okay. How you use your magic again? You do not know. Is this? I'm trying to learn how to use it. Okay, we don't have to hit the pause button. How do you use the magic? I do not remember. Alright, it's the status. No. Yo, where's the regular menu? Oh wait, moves. Duh. But are these special moves? Let's see, if you open group. No, that's not what that is. I'm gonna have to fool around with the buttons. Is it all four buttons? No. Getting surrounded. That's the other move, right? Let's get over here. So what was my first experience with hip hop? Rapper's Delight. Now I'm not saying this happened in 1977. This happened in probably the 80s. But my mother always tells a story about me being a 2-year-old going to daycare and singing the lyrics to Rapper's Delight. I didn't know it was hip hop. It wasn't about bars. It was the fact that it was a catchy hook. Oh man, I forgot about this. There's no way I'm gonna. Shit, how you doing? Hold up, y'all. We gotta get rid of this section because I remember this. And that is not how you beat it. Okay, at least that time I didn't get caught. Okay, at least we're doing some damage here. I remember when this game dropped, man. This is just dope. Oh. Oh. Okay, that's how you do that. Man, I don't remember anything. Come on, man. Now I'm just hacking away. Way too long. Alright. I'm glad I put this on normal, because I do get it already. Alright, hold up. What are we doing here? Oh, I didn't know I was still climbing up the wall. Yeah, I meant to jump across. Remember it was like old school games, you gotta look for the cues. I'm ignoring all the cues. I think I remember how to do the magic, y'all. See this? No, it's this. There it is. Need some more of this, man. I'm gonna keep dealing with you for this long. Shit. Can't take two more though. Too many of those. Good. Fucking horse out of here. I forgot about the button pumps. Shit. For somebody who hasn't played in a very long time, I'm not doing too bad. But I was much better at it than this. Alright, so we'll calm this damn horse down for a minute. Wait a minute. What the hell's going on? Okay, I remember this part. So yeah, man, my first experience with hip hop, as far as I could remember, was that moment, being 2 years old and learning the lyrics to that song. And it was because it was catchy. It was, I mean, you listen to the lyrics of Rapper's Delight. There's nothing about it that's, well, that's a dope picture. There's nothing about it that's, you know, overly technical and, you know, complicated lyrics and all that. It's a real simple hook. Kid could learn it, and it was a big hit, a big commercial hit for hip hop at the time. So me being 2 years old, obviously, you know, growing up in the house with music, you're gonna hear that, you know. You're gonna hear. I mean, well, as a kid, you're gonna catch on to things like that, you know, because it's simple. You hear it enough, it's, you know. And plus, I mean, obviously, if you don't know, I'm black, so certain rhythms and drum patterns are already embedded in my DNA. Damn, there's some moves that. Man, couldn't you run on here or something? Oh yeah, that's how I'm running. Get up there. Get these arrow niggas out of here. I need. Okay. Some of it's coming back. Oh. Alright, there we go. But yeah, for the most part, that was my first experience with hip hop. Now the second question, and if you're just tuning in or, you know, to this live broadcast of the rap game with Vegas, I was talking about my, I know the button prompts sound like I'm mashing on it, but trust me, I'm using some form of skill. But I'm just talking about the questions for the listener profile that's done on my podcast. Hip Hop Now podcast, which is available on, you know, it's on everything from iTunes to Google Play, but the hub being soundcloud.com/Hip Hop Now podcast. 3 questions. One was, what's your first experience with hip hop? My first experience with hip hop was Rapper's Delight as a 2-year-old. Yeah, hold up, y'all. I don't remember. Okay. Okay, I do remember. Oh, let's get this work. Heck, I forgot how you grab, do like the grab and pull them to you. I don't know, maybe I didn't get there yet. Wait, hold up. Okay. But the second question for listeners then the listener profile is, what is your hip-hop guilty pleasure? Now, I always say this on my podcast about me and my taste in hip-hop music. I don't like one particular style of rap at all. That's just not my taste in hip-hop. Obviously, boom bap is what I love. It's first. It's kind of what gets me probably the most excited when I'm listening to hip-hop. But it's not the only thing. Obviously, like I said, Rapper's Delight is clearly a party record from back in the day. So I like party records also because I like to party. I can be a homebody, but I'm also a dude who didn't mind a party or two when I was a kid and when I was in college and stuff like that. Okay. I remember that. Yeah. I can forget everything. You know, I like rappers, certain rappers, you know, who maybe their main content is weed focused, like Devin the Dude. I loved Redman back in the days. Currency, I like Currency. Okay, this part I remember getting attacked, so let me chill with the talking and see if we get busy with this. Okay, not attacked yet. I always thought this was dope. If you play God of War, right, and especially God of War 1, Ares, the original God of War, is encased in the ice down here, his body. I always thought that was just dope. Oh shit. Okay. Now you're gonna have to forgive me. This dude gave me the business because I had to play. Oh, I didn't forget that. Oh shit. I'm on fire. You know what? Damn it. Shit. Oh man, I'm gonna have to nail that down because that is a huge part of this game. Damn. What am I pressing wrong? The only problem with that is I might have to let him try it again so I can get this. I'm trying to figure out. Nope, so it's not the right stick. It must be the left stick. Hey, yo, Kratos, we're not trying to die here. Best part of God of War. This is just the brutal kills. This is disgusting, though, yeah. Look at this. And ladies and gentlemen, that is God of War. Let's take a look at Ares and Ice, though. I always thought that was dope. It's not the biggest deal, but you know, if you've played the first two games leading up to this, you just kind of look at it like, I remember fighting him back on that PS2. See him in Ice, dead man. But again, you know, I like party records, I like boom bap, I like gangster rap, I like, you know, weed head rap, whatever. I don't like it all from everybody, but I like particular artists and how they, you know, how they, oh damn, did that just take too long? Damn it. Alright. I'm a little rusty, y'all. I didn't mean to do that. It's been a while. Alright, let's see if we can get this done. Praise the chance over there quick. Get up there, damn. Now what? Oh, okay. And we will save. Because when a brother hasn't played in a while, we don't need no dying in no crazy area, having to do this shit over again. Shit, what part is this? So again, I have no one particular, oh man, damn it. Style of rap I like. So my guilty pleasure, let's just get to that. Some stalling and fucking horses down. Oh shit. I gotta fight him again. Hold up. Shit. Oh shit. Nonsense. Get up there. Damn, they are generous with the health and power when you play it on easy. Or normal, I should say. This is normal, but it feels like easy. Get over there. Do it again. Shit. Damn, I didn't know he could. Okay, I gotta get out of the way of that thing. Oh shit. Some people don't like quick time events. I don't mind them if they're done well. Especially if you like ripping crab legs off the damn horse and shit. Oh, get over there already. Oh, you don't get hit when you use a magic. Oh shit. My bad. Oh. Okay. Finish this cat. Oh. Usually. Alright, so I remember somewhat how to play this game. My guilty pleasure in hip-hop would probably be, and this is a particular album, and I know for some people this was hot, this is a classic, this was a joint, but for me, and for how I would crucify anyone else with this skill level, Master P's I think the game is spazzing. Look at those lines and things, that wasn't in there before. Master P's Ghetto Dope album, right? Yeah, all these little lines, that's the game glitching big time. Cause that's not supposed to look like that. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of taking me out of the experience a little bit. Yeah, Master P's Ghetto Dope. The only reason why I say that, and you gotta go back in time with me. You know, this is before we had a ton of trap rappers and Cash Money and you know, a lot of South hip hop was popular. How the Until you get down. Okay. Popular on the mainstream level. Still photo. And I just remember, you know, me and my friends, we watched the Bout It joint, and because we thought it was probably something that was like ridiculously whack movie, but we kind of came away respecting Master P for making something like that. And we all acknowledged that he wasn't the greatest rapper in the world, but somehow the influence of that movie and you know, his charisma as a celebrity or a rapper, you know, kind of lend itself to hold up, I don't know where the hell I'm supposed to be taking this joint. I think I'm supposed to take it over here. Yep, there we go. Kind of lent itself to looking past lyrical skill. Because you got to understand, again, this is not at a time where a lot of Southern rappers are mainstream. The Southern rappers and I'm talking about New Yorkers for the most part, were, you know, had experienced, were like Outkast and Goody Mob, and I mean, I guess you could count Scarface and Ghetto Boys and stuff like that. But they kind of rapped in a way that was more skill-based. You know what I'm saying? Oh damn, I didn't mean to do that. They weren't as you know, like as basic as Master P was. But Master P's appeal and his you know, his independence, you know, gave me, I know, a lot of respect for that dude. So listening to his lyrics, it wasn't about the technicality. It was about, you know, I like dude and I like his hustle and I like what, you know, he had to say, regardless of how good it may have appeared on the lyrical side. So I remember I was, you know, Ghetto Dope was coming out, and I remember hearing some people saying it was hype, and some people was like, yo, that joint whack. But I kept hearing records that I really liked. And when I heard the title track, Ghetto Dope, which I can't remember which old school beat he's rhyming over. But I just thought it was hot. You know what I'm saying? For him to do that, I always hate these climb the wall and fight joints. Damn, Normal is just way too easy. Like, doing away with these dudes mad quick. You know, there's some more horse missions up there. But yeah, I wound up I bought the cassette that shows you how old school that was for me. Even though the CD was out by then. More horse battles. Let's see, do I have to fight him here? I don't think so. Oh yeah, I do. It's Poseidon. But I bought the tape for Ghetto Dope, and I liked it, man. Now, there was some records that I definitely skipped, but there was a lot of records that I liked, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, part of me was like, should I like this? Hold on, let me get rid of this dude, because this could be pretty annoying. Shit, forgot about that. Come on, man, I pushed the damn roll button. Oh shoot, I gotta do better. Get over there.
Jump to my hand!
Trying, shit. Okay, I'm not doing too bad. Nope. Can't break that. forgot. I don't think I can go up here until I hurt him. That maybe 5 minutes. I think I have this, if I remember correctly, you gotta get him stunned, and then you climb up there, and nope. Oh shit, happened anyway. Hey yo. Man, I hope I'm doing this the right way. I am not working with a lot of help here. Whoa. Yeah, not yet. Shoot. This is kind of cheap. How I can just hide back in and do nothing. Man, what is this dude? Oh, there you go. Oh shit. Get up there already. Crazy. Slamming these dudes' heads into them. Stabbing them. Jeez, I'm not used to pressing the button that fast anymore. I still gotta fight this dude on this level? Okay, nah, it's over. But yeah, man, Masterpiece, Ghetto Dope. The album is probably my guilty pleasure, mainly because of the climate I was in amongst friends and the type of hip-hop we listened to, and never did I think, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a lot of different hip-hop. She's killing me with this. It's not gonna end well, y'all. Oh, damn. At least it took me that long to die. Took that way. Atlantis will be avenged. Damn, I keep trying to roll out of the way of that. The fury of the sea has been unleashed. That is some damn hell. And the last question that I asked of listeners that I'm going to answer myself is, oh shit, hold on. What the, okay. Oh damn, that's the wrong button, but you know when it's on normal, it doesn't matter. This part is dope. Get your ass out of there. Forgot about this scene. If you don't know, there's a new God of War coming. Basically God of War 4. I think that's the name of it. Looks like it might be pretty dope. So you know I'm excited. Hold on, we need complete silence for this scene.
Zeus should have kept you where you belong. No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another to stand against you.
They will fall as well.
death of Olympus means the death of us all.
Then prepare for your death, Poseidon.
Get it. Damn. Kratos is just straight an axe murder. Crazy. This game is probably dirt cheap, so anybody who's never played God of War who's looking like, yo, this looks alright. Look at this. Damn. Not only did he gouge his eyes out, broke his damn neck. It's alright, he was just water. But the last question is, what are my top 3 artists or top 3 albums of all time and why? I think I'm gonna go with top 3 albums. Now, this is my opinion, subjective. The whole purpose behind this kind of question is just to discover what other people view as their top 3 of all time. So my top 3 of all time isn't like the definitive top 3 hip-hop albums of all time. That would be totally different. This is more like personal. The way I feel in regards to albums and why it would be in my top is mainly, because you know how many times I've listened to it throughout the years, and these 3 albums I've listened to them a lot. Like they're almost like an annual thing, and not even annual because it's not even one time per year. It's probably 2 to 3 times per year I'll listen to these albums, no hesitation. 3, you know, these 3 albums had an impact on my youth, my teenage years. I listened to them a lot when they came out. You know, I'm the type of dude who's a deep thinker. So a lot of times, you know, when I had the headphones on, walking to school or on the bus or wherever it was, you know, I would really lose myself in these 3 particular albums. Hold up, I think I gotta fight Zeus. I don't remember this part. Oh yeah, I think I remember it. I think it was a pain in the ass. Oh no, it's something else. Yeah, okay. Good. But yeah, again, 3 albums that I consider my top 3 for those reasons I gave. One is pretty obvious if you listen to my podcast, is the Notorious B.I.G.'s Ready to Die. Biggie had a heavy influence on me because, you know, I was from Brooklyn, I was from Bed-Stuy. He lived several blocks away from where I lived. But when you feel like somebody from your neighborhood, so to speak, is has become this big star, and his lyrics are familiar to you because you grew up in that same environment, there's a lot to relate to, you know what I'm saying? And I always loved Biggie's style from Party and Bullshit. And I also like the fact that, you know, his flow had switched up. And I remember like the Best of Biggie was like, everybody had that in BK in New York and all that. It's the Best of Biggie mixtape by Mr. C. A lot of Biggie features on there, a lot of unreleased music. You're talking at a time where it wasn't as common to do that on a mixtape side of things. And also, you're talking about a best of for a dude who didn't even have a debut album out. So needless to say, the anticipation was really high on my part. And I remember like kind of begging my moms to take me to the record store so I could go buy it. And I remember like getting it, and you know, I ain't gonna front, when I first saw the cover, I was like Ghostface. I'm like, a bit off of Nas shit. He took his little cover, boom, so I did a knowledge to that shit. But nevertheless, man, popped that joint in for the first time. You know, the intro was perfect. You know, Biggie's being born, like different stages of his life. He's being born, he's a kid, his parents is fighting, his father leaves. Then it transitions to him, you know, being a teen, leaving jail, you know, not talking about, oh shit, Kratos off that K2, check it out. Yo, don't do drugs, man, and especially don't do that. It's not good for you. But the thing is and the zombie walk, you know, just hearing those skits just had me even more pumped in the intro to Ready to Die. And then when Things Unchanged came on, man, I just felt like that was an anthem of my generation. You know, I'm not a street dude. I never was a street dude. I'm not a sucker. But, you know, I know the reality of what was happening out in the streets with, you know, my peers and friends and other people. And Things Done Changed was just like perfect intro song for that album. Obviously, you know, I love a bunch of records on there. Warning, The What, One More Chance, the original one, I always like that. Unbelievable, of course, Respect. My favorite record on Ready to Die was Everyday Struggle. I just love that beat. I just love Big's lyrics. I listened to that record so many times throughout the years. I mean, just ridiculous so many times. Like, when you love a record and you know, you wind up learning the lyrics and all of that, but it's one thing when you love a record and you just know the lyrics. It's another thing when you recite the lyrics, but you feel it as you know what I'm saying? You feel like you're saying it. And again, I didn't go through none of that shit Biggie was talking about, but I could relate to it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of felt it. So that's like hands down my favorite record on there, which is hard to say because he got a lot of tough records, but Everyday Struggle is just my joint, man. Another one of my top 3 favorite albums of all time has to be, see, I'm getting kind of torn, but this one is a no-brainer for me, and it's Ice Cube's Death Certificate. You gotta understand, man, this was around the time when that album came out. It was probably the second album I ever bought with my own money. The first album being Paul Anka's Teachers, second album, something Poverty, I can't remember. But it's the second album with Shakira and all that. And Easy Star, I like that record. Oh, I forgot, I don't have my special moves no more. Damn it. Alright, this always works. Get your ass out here. Oh, I think these beats give you health. Alright. Damn, is that good? There it is. Let's save real quick. But yeah, the do you want to overwrite this? Say yes. Death certificate was my, you know, my joint, man. Like, it was the first time I mean, not first time, but second time I bought something with my own money, and even more than that, was a really dirty album as far as the language. And I remember listening to that joint, and it was like, I felt like Q was telling me everything I should know in life as a young black male, in the ghetto, all the things I would face that he's been through. He was just so knowledgeable, and I think what I really liked about it, hold up, let's use some of this. What I really liked about it was the fact that he was still Ice Cube from NWA as far as the gangster rap, but he also had joined the Nation of Islam. So he had, if you had the cassette like I did, you had the A side and the B side. The A side was, the Ice Cube, the gangster rap, South Central LA lyrics. And, I love this. A lot of joints on that side. Steady Mobbing, Giving Up the Nappy Dugout, My Summer Vacation, Bird in the Hand, like just pure gangster rap, just everything you could think of. Then the second side was supposed to be more of the light side, the enlightened side, I would say, where there were more conscious records on that side, but you didn't feel like, oh man, well now it's whack because, I was more into everything else he was talking about with the streets, and now this is whack. He was still talking about the streets, but he was talking about it from a conscious standpoint. So records like Us and Doing Dumb Shit and Black Korea, True to the Game. I really like Colorblind. Okay, I cannot remember. I always hated this. Damn, I wasn't pressing her. I guess it's the left stick when you do that joint. Oh man, they put me all the way back here. Yeah, man, and then the icing on the cake to that Death Certificate album, which is already dope in itself, has to be the last record, which is No Vaseline. His response, this record to NWA, hands down one of the greatest. All right, let's see if it's the left stick. It is the left stick. Okay. Come on, Kratos with the kicking, man. Really? 6 kicks? Listen, let's speed this up because crap his ass. Pause. Alright, finally. Get off of that shit. Wait, is he gonna step down here? Probably. But yeah, yo, No Vaseline, just a brutal diss record against NWA, like kind of against all odds things. Since NWA, most dangerous group, right? And if only one of them versus the other 3, it should be. Ice Cube's supposed to get stomped out, man, but there was a reason why he was one of the ghostwriters, for sure. He really got busy. And if you haven't seen Straight Outta Compton, or you remember Straight Outta Compton, they played basically the whole damn song in that movie, which is ridiculous. But that's why one of the main reasons, not one of the main reasons, but one of many reasons why Ice Cube's Death Certificate is one of my favorite albums of all time. And lastly, and honestly, I'm probably a person who will go back and forth on making this my third. But it meets all the criteria of me feeling like it's an album I go back to several times throughout the years. Oh damn, Medusa. Hold on, let me handle this broad real quick. Well, we're not gonna let her live at all. Shoot. Get over there. Yeah. Shoot. I gotta remember that one prompt that I... Oh, shoot. She is not playing. Let's see if I can remember. Damn. Oh, shoot. I didn't know there'd be another one. Get off, man. Where'd she go? Is that it? Shit. Maybe not. Alright, that's it. But that third album for me is Gang Starr's Daily Operation. I know a lot of people probably was like, yo, no Black Moon, no Smith & Wesson, no, I'm talking about 90s dudes. No Illmatic. Nah, man. For me, personally, I'm not saying Daily Operation is better. I'm just saying, again, it was just one of those albums back in the days, man. And even now, when I hit play, I lose myself in it. You know what I'm saying? I literally get transported back to that time when I was a teenager, and you know, I had it in my headphones and just listened religiously without skipping. That's the other important part. These three albums I named, I don't skip not one record. There are other classics where I skip joints, but Ready to Die, Death Certificate, and Daily Operation, I don't skip anything, man. And you know, it's debatable whether it's Gang Starr's best album, but for me, it is hands down my favorite out of them all. So many dope records. I believe, what's on there? Love 6 on there. Soliloquy of Chaos is one of my favorite joints. You know, Take It Personal, Bust Your Shit, like, just so many classic dope records. And you know what it is? It has that, it's one of those albums that have that muddy, gritty 90s sound that a lot of cats who grew up in the 90s love. The beats are dope. Guru's lyrics are just perfectly tailored to the beats. Guru always had content. Guru's not a lyrical master either, but he always had content. His lyrics and songs were always interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's always enough to make you feel interested and to listen to. Whoa, fucking dog spitting fire. You know, to make you want to hear what he has to say. Hold up, y'all. I'm trying to remember how I did this.
You'll burn me alive!
I see. Let's so go over there. Okay, I remember now.
Keep the flames away!
I think I remember. Oh shit. Wasn't supposed to do that.
What are you doing? Please be more careful.
Don't worry. You're gonna get burnt up soon, fam. Don't you even worry. Alright, so I pushed this thing onto a platform that's down there. I believe that's what I do. Is it this? I cannot remember. Yep. Okay, so that I was supposed to do, but what now? Let's see.
Gods were right to curse you. Oh, that was too close.
It's not that. Okay, so it is something here with this. Something's up. What the hell am I supposed to do here? I know you get the little arrow of fire joint and shoot that, but
Keep it away from me!
oh, maybe I'm supposed to go for it. That's why. Damn, I didn't even do that. You gotta forgive me, y'all. I haven't played this in a while. Some of the stuff is gotta come back. So I try to run down there as fast as I can.
You fool! Go burn me alive!
Oh man, I messed up. That's what I was supposed to do. Oh no. Hurry up, man.
What are you doing?
Then I think I'm supposed to ride that joint over there and then flame this dude. Here we go. Keep going. We gotta burn this dude up. Yo, God of War is just brutal. Watch. That's how brutal it is. Ridiculous. But I need this.
You have gained the bow of Apollo. Its fiery arrows will clear your path.
Yo. Yeah, get out of here with that. There we go. Alright, finally. But yeah, man, daily operation. We can get back to talking about hip hop. Daily Operation is definitely my third favorite hip hop album of all time. Just love that joint, man. And honestly, you know you love certain albums, certain movies when you talk enough about it and you feel like you want to go listen to them now. And that's kind of how I feel. So again, you know, if you just tuning in, this is Rap Game with Vegas, God of War remastered on PS4 Pro. Talking about the 3 questions I asked the listeners on my podcast. One question being, what was your first experience with hip hop? Second question, what is your hip hop guilty pleasure? And third question, what are your top 3 favorite hip hop artists or top 3 favorite hip hop albums and why? You record yourself saying this, of course, saying your name and where you're from, and email the audio to me at vegasworld5@gmail.com. That's vegasworld, the number 5 @gmail.com. I'm going to leave the link to that email in this description. Don't hesitate to check out my podcast. Hip Hop Now Podcast is available almost anywhere where podcasts are available, but the hub is soundcloud.com/hip hop now podcast. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Vegas World INC. Until next time, y'all, I am not a critic. I'm a fan. And this is God of War 3. Let's play a little bit more. I don't know. Where the hell am I supposed to go? Oh, back the other way. Alright, y'all. Peace. Let's just stick to the game.
Leave us be!